Hey everybody, this is GoGoku7. Welcome back to Pokémon Stadium episode 7. Today we will be taking on the Vermilion Gym in the Gym Leader Castle, but before that I would like to finish my explanation of everything there is in Pokémon Stadium that I started 2 episodes ago. So the last thing that I haven't gone over yet in the menus of Pokémon Stadium is Gallery. Now with Gallery you can take your own snapshots, and apparently you could print them in some way. You just select one of the rentals that you would like to take a picture of. I'm just going to use Bulbasaur for convenience. You start off with this background of the free battle that I haven't gone over yet. And the Pokemon is just standing there in the middle, sometimes doing its idle animation. You can change its name that you see there with the L button. You can go into a fixed zoom with the C button, or you can change the background with the L button. Now every background represents a background of one of the battles that you have access to right now. Like, I can assess the background of the Vermilion Gym already, but I'm not gonna show that at the moment. What I will show is that there's 2 Pokécups. Now I don't know why or how these are used. I'd assume that you have the normal Pokécup during the first 4 battles of the Pokécup, and then the Pokécup 2 background for the last 4 battles. I'm not sure myself, but I kinda like it. You can zoom with the C buttons, or excuse me, the D-pad, and you can rotate with the analog stick. You can go all the way around your Pokemon. And that's about it. You can take a snapshot and save that. However, that doesn't properly work on an emulator, but it's fun to mess around with, I guess. It just doesn't work properly on an emulator. So let's go to the Gym Leader Castle. Sorry for that, I pressed the BB button one time too much. Alright, let's go to Gym Leader Castle. Once again, the rules are the exact same. I've used the register option to register Pokemon and group them by type. And we're going to the Vermilion Gym. So, I will see you guys in the pre-recorded footage of choosing my Pokemon. Alright, let's choose our Pokemon. For today, I want a little bit stronger Pokemon than before, that we've used before in the Gym Leader Castle, simply because in test plays, the battles didn't turn out the way I wanted them to be with not fully evolved Pokemon. And the only way to fix that is to use a little bit stronger Pokemon than in my test plays. So for the ground type Pokemon that I want today, I want a really fast one, which is Ductrio, and I want one to summarize, which is Rhydon. Alright, for the water type Pokemon, you actually have plenty of horsepower in Staryu. You could use any of these, but for today, I want Staryu. Now, we're finally going to use a normal type Pokemon in one of our episodes. So for today, I want a really fast one, and that is Persian. So, these are Pokemon that can all use a Psychic type move, and for today, I actually want Haunter. Alright, so this is the team I want for today. Let's start with Vermilion Gym. Alright, it's been a while, but I'm up for battle. How about you guys? So, for the first battle, you want just Staryu. He can finish most Pokemon on his own. For backup, you have Haunter and Persian. Alright, let's start with the summary of Rhydon. Alright, the summary of Rhydon, who is a ground rock type Pokemon with the moves Strength, Dig, Substitute, and Surf. Its base stats are HP 105, Attack 130, Defense 120, Special 45, and Speed 40. Now, Rhydon is a cool Pokemon because he has both the 2nd highest base attack of all Pokemon and the 5th highest base defense of all Pokemon in Generation 1. Rhydon is amazing because he is one of the 7 most deadly Pokemon in Generation 1, Starmie and Tauros being among those 7. Rhydon is classified along with Golem to be the best rock and ground type Pokemon in this generation. Rhydon was in the overused tier in Generation 1 and 2, but then it kind of lost its significance. To my knowledge, Rhydon performs the actual strongest natural earthquakes of all Pokemon in Generation 1. But he does not have the highest base attack. Dragonite has 134, whereas Machamp, Kingler, and Rhydon have 130. Machamp can also learn Earthquake, Dragonite cannot. But the difference is that Rhydon has a standard same type attack bonus, which Machamp doesn't. So their damage output with Earthquake is the same as long as the move is super effective or not very effective, only in Generation 1. But unlike Golem, Rhydon cannot learn Self-Destruct, so you're kind of limited with the moves Earthquake, Rock Slide, Body Slam, and Substitute with a Rhydon. Substitute has a very difficult prediction game behind it. You need to know whether your opponent still has a Starmie or an Executor reserved. But Rhydon is one of the Pokemon that can learn a lot of special moves like Blizzard, Bubble Beam, Fire Blast, Ice Beam, Surf, Thunder, Thunderbolt, and Water Gun. And even more in future generations. Tyranitar from Generation 2 has exactly this very broad special learn set. But the thing is that Tyranitar is a pseudo-legendary Pokemon. And can, under certain circumstances, actually make certain special moves like Fire Blast just a little bit stronger than his physical moves, to my knowledge, in Generation 2. And I hate having all this missed potential of physical Pokemon. It's not like these special moves will ever hit higher than Rhydon's physical moves when he has a special of only 45. It's just too low compared to his 130 attack. Some casual players don't realize how low its special is and still give Pokemon like Rhydon these special moves thinking it will do more damage. But yeah, Rhydon has a high attack and defense, but low speed, special attack, and special defense in future generations. In the 4th generation, Rhydon got a new evolution, Rhyperior. Even though it increases all of its base stats by 10, except for speed, it didn't come back as overused Pokemon anymore. However, Rhyperior does have the possibility of having the ability Solid Rock, which reduces the damage of super effective moves by 25% when they're used on Rhyperior. However, nowadays, there is a hold item, Eviolite, which raises not fully evolved Pokemon, their defense and special defense by 50%, giving Rhydon the opportunity to have a max defense of over 500. That is when using a neutral nature or defensive nature Rhydon with 31 IVs in defense and 252 or higher EVs in defense as well. Rhydon's greatest weaknesses are Starmie and Executor, by the way. Starmie Surf when it KOs Rhydon, and Executor can break its substitute and put it to sleep, and the Executor can still be at high HP at that point. Alright, the summary of Rhydon should be done right about now. If not, then fail. Alright, so in this first battle, you could see that it went a little bit wrong. And Slowpoke got our special down by 1 stage. But that's fine. Alright, so for this next battle, all you need is Rhydon really, but you need to be careful because this trainer actually really likes using Porygon and using moves that lower your defense, from what I've understood. But Rhydon, as backup we have Ductrio and Venusaur. Alright, let's go. So, now for today's competitive mechanic, I want to talk about critical hits. Now, critical hits are an important part in many RPGs. As such, it's also a core mechanic in Pokemon. And you're probably thinking, Goku, why do you need to explain this? Well, basically because critical hits are very different in Pokemon Generation 1. And I promise to talk about it in many occasions. Today I will focus on how the mechanic was programmed in Generation 1. And maybe in a future episode I'll talk about Generation 2 and beyond. But for today, I've only got time for Generation 1. So critical hits are an occasional lucky event where the Pokemon, where the attacking Pokemon hits the opponent's Pokemon weak spot, apparently. It's known as Vital Point in Japanese, so that's why I'm saying weak spot, and the announcer even says right in the weak spot or something. So critical hits are also known to ignore stat changes. And that is true to an extent. It depends on which generation you look at. But in Generation 1, all stat changes are ignored in the calculation of damage. So whether the Pokemon has quadrupled attack or the opponent has like a double defense, the damage output of the attack during a critical hit is still calculated with the Pokemon their normal stats. Any changes in stats are ignored. This is specifically for Generation 1. It's not entirely true that the damage output is doubled during a critical hit in Generation 1, but it is an almost correct rough estimate at level 100. I will go over that in just a moment, but for now I want to point out the Generation 1 critical hit rates formula. The formula to calculate how high the chance of doing a critical hit is in Generation 1 is actually based on the Pokemon's base speed stat. So the higher a Pokemon's base speed stat, the higher the actual critical hit rate. The ordinary critical hit rate formula is base speed times 100 divided by 512. So you can see that Pokemon with over 100 base speed have a standard critical hit rate of about 1 in 5 to about 1 in 4 at about 140 base speed. That's quite a high critical hit rate for Pokemon like Julian and Electrode. This is one of the reasons mostly fast Pokemon dominated this generation, and I just want to reiterate that it is the base speed stat that matters in the formula, not the actual speed stat. Effort values and individual values do not influence the actual critical hit percentage. High critical hit moves like Slash, Razor Leaf, Trap Hammer, and Karate Chop had a different formula, and I will go over that in just a moment when you've chosen Pokemon. So for this battle, it is once again actually enough just to use Starmie, but you never know what might go wrong, just like against the Slowpoke. So we're gonna use the Trio, and let's use Haunter. Alright. So the formula for high critical hit moves is base speed times 100 divided by 64. So 512 is replaced by 64, which is 8 times lower, resulting in a final product that is 8 times higher. That's basic math. So what I'm going to say now is part of something that is very little data about, and my research about it is very small, so I might be a little off, but there were actually different formulas in Pokémon Stadium for critical hits. I will put the default critical hit rate formula on screen right now, and so if you look at it, compared to Pokémon Red, Blue, and Yellow, this formula causes Pokémon with lower than 76 base speed to have a higher critical hit rate, and Pokemon with a base speed higher than 76, it causes them to have a lower critical hit rate. That is once again compared to Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. High critical hit rate moves still increase the critical hit chance by 8, and I will put the formula on screen right now. Focus Energy, which quadrupled the critical hit rate in this game, also changes the formula a slight bit. And this time around, critical hit rate moves, high critical hit rate moves, and focus energy actually stack up and create another formula, which is unique, and I will put it on screen right now. That we got paralyzed is a little bit unfortunate, but Staryu will survive as the moves of the Nidoran's of this trainer aren't that strong. So how much more damage a critical hit does in this generation is dependent on a Pokemon's level. Wow, that's the first time I've seen him use Horn Drill. I knew that it was in his moveset, but it's the first time I've seen it. And because we're paralyzed, it might hit. But that's alright, we've got backup. When a Pokemon's move critical hits, you take the standard damage formula that I've already shown in a previous episode, and you replace level by 2 times the level of the Pokemon plus 5 divided by level plus 5. This results in the Pokemon's damage output at level 100. It results in it being about doubled. Pokemon of level 5 do about 50% more damage, as you can see in this example. Pokemon of level 20 do about 80% more damage, which is kind of unique. But that's really the gist of all you need to know about critical hits for Generation 1. In a future episode, I might go over future generations. For some reason, these Nidorans are using much stronger moves than I've ever seen them use before. Like, I have their movesets on my screen right now. And they always use Double Kick and Fury Attack until now. Or, this one knows Poison Sting. So let's just finish it off with Psychic. Alright. Great. Let's go to the final battle against Lieutenant Surge. I used to call him Little Surge when I was little, which is funny. I was little myself. But yeah, not too difficult, but with these fully evolved Pokemon like the Trio and Rhydon, the battles turn out more in the way that I want them to be. Alright, so there's a few difficult situations here. Lieutenant Surge's Pikachu and Raichu both know Surf, which, yeah, it's not really that useful to throw Rhydon at him, but that's the reason why we have Duck Trio. Duck Trio is faster than Raichu and Pikachu, and he can use Dig against them. So for today we want Duck Trio, we want Venusaur, and as the last backup we'll have Haunter. So, let's go. So, I've said a few times in this entire Let's Play already. I've said it a few times, but in the first generation Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow, you have to move Focus Energy, which was intended to quadruple your Pokemon's critical hit rate. Oh wow, he uses Explosion. Normally, he sends out Raichu first, and that's why I wanted my Trio first. You can go with Venusaur first, but he has a little bit trouble defeating Raichu because it also has Body Slam, which Thunder Waves and lowers your speed. Alright, Electrode is a fast Pokemon, but it luckily doesn't know Surf, and it's going for Self-Destruct! Oh my goodness, this is amazing! This is such an amazing episode! Oh my goodness. So Focus Energy was intended to raise the critical hit rate of a Pokemon by 4 times, but there was an error in programming and it actually quarters the critical hit rate. This was fixed in Pokémon Stadium and future generations, but critical hit chances still don't go any higher than 99.6%. And that's just about time This is about the right time to finish with my commentary. I was just done. And that was the Vermilion Gym. That was really it. Alright, really fun episode. I don't have a lot of time. I was actually supposed to do my homework today, but the episode turned out fine. I don't think I forgot something, but yeah. Receive the key from Search and open Erica's tower. Next time on Pokémon Stadium, we are going to be taking on the Celadon Gym with its gym leader, Erica. This has been Gugok7. See you guys next time.